Okay, so EYG. I need to complete Pinafore first. Because I don't have save files with the practice codes, and I need Yoshi. So yeah, first thing about EYG, you need Yoshi. I see people ask like, oh, why don't you just do EYG immediately? When you get to Pina 3. Are you kidding? This is the worst Pina 4 ever, but that's fine. That means I can talk. But yeah, you need to beat Pina 4 in order to unlock Yoshi. Specifically, you need to collect the Pina 4 shine. Oh, that worked. Hey. So, yeah, that's why we don't just immediately do EYG. EYG stands for Early Yoshi-Go-Round, I should mention. And that's because we do the Early Yoshi-Go-Round secret. Not the Early Yoshi-Go-Round secret. We do the Yoshi-Go-Round secret early, before we're supposed to do it. Specifically, we skip doing Pina 5, and we skip straight to Pina 6. I actually do need to cover this level. I probably should have switched them around. But yeah, whatever. We're on EYG now, so let's explain EYG. Alright, so there's two main ways to do EYG. You can do it in episode 5 and you can do it in episode 3. I know this didn't really make sense, but whatever. So specifically, a space baleine, which means space whale in French, I think. He asked me to do an explanation on 3YG. And he said, can you do an in-depth explanation of 3YG? The only EYG strat I've successfully done is 2YG, and I'm actually absolutely sick of those stupid purple bullet bills. So 2YG was the old strat, and it was very luck-based, so we don't do that one anymore. We do 3YG or 5YG. Now, I realized that a space specifically asked me to explain 3YG, but I'm going to show off 5YG first, because 5YG is basically the same thing, but it's a lot easier, and it's easier to explain. So let's do 5YG first. So the difference between 3YG and 5YG is these guys. These guys are really big and slow in episode 5, whereas in episode 3 they're like smaller and a lot faster. Also, there's no sunflowers here in episode 3, which makes it easier to see Yoshi's fruit. Either way, he wants a banana. Banana is right around here. Alright, so that's the first thing we need to do. We need to get Yoshi. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to get this papaya here, and we need to get it over near the gate. Now, there's two different things you can do. You can store the fruit, which you can do if you're not on the Japanese version. And the way that works is you eat it, and then you get off of Yoshi before the fruit actually enters his mouth. And what that will do is it will store the papaya in his mouth, and if you press B again, he will eat it. But since we're on JP, we cannot do that. And I actually forgot a step. I need to eat this durian first, because we need purple Yoshi. Durian, thank you. Okay, so you need purple Yoshi. Then you can either store the fruit, or you can throw it through the gate. Now, the optimal way to throw it through the gate, because that's what I'm going to be doing, is to get these guys to follow you first. Then you get off Yoshi. Throw it through the gate. You don't want to jump. If you jump, you'll throw it too far, and it will go out of bounds. And then you need these guys to follow you. Now, you want to approach at about this angle, and this goes for 3YG as well. But in 3YG, you just want to go fast instead of going slow. Okay, so now you're going to stand in this corner, and as soon as the first guy is overhead, as soon as his shadow touches you, you want to walk straight down underneath the second guy so that he also attacks you. Then you walk around to the left, you turn your camera, and you need to spray the first guy with Yoshi at a very specific time. It's pretty lenient, but, you know, the visual cue for it is kind of specific. So, let me actually show that off right now. These guys, see how they, like, bob up and down? 1, 2. On the third bob, you want to spray that guy. And, oh, I actually messed it up. Oh, it still worked. If you do that correctly, I kind of messed it up, but it still worked. You can sidestep through that wall with the help of that purple platform. If you saw Yoshi kind of went around the edge, that means I sprayed him a little too early. The platform was too low, so I couldn't go right through it. I actually collided with the center of it. But yeah, you can clip through the wall, and you can get this guy to keep following you. So then you walk into the park, and then what I do is I turn my camera around, and I make sure that I'm looking at the left part of the gate like this. Whoops, I got him to attack me. So I set up over here in this corner with this camera angle. Then you jump and ground pound, and spray. And then you just need to go and eat the papaya, and then you jump on. And right now we're inside of an invisible barrier, right? That's why we need this platform. So you shouldn't try to move off of this platform. Okay, you can walk off the front, but don't try to move off of any other side. And then once we go here, we can get on the merry-go-round, and if you now walk in here, you enter the secret. And yeah, just to demonstrate, there's a wall here that you can't move through it. And if you actually walk off, you zip, and you die. So yeah, you really don't want to do that. And the same thing happens if you walk off of the purple platform. Alright, so let's try and do that whole thing in motion. And then I'll do 3YG, and I'll explain the differences. Alright, papaya is here. So we'll get this papaya, spray it over here. Get the durian. I want these guys to follow. You don't want to get too far away from them, because then they'll stop following you. Gotta get Yoshi. Gotta get these guys to follow us here. And then we spray him there. That didn't work again. Well, okay, it kinda worked. Oh, that guy got stuck. Oh, he's okay. I'm gonna do that again. I don't know why I'm messing this up. I think the timing is a little different on the big guys compared to the small guys. That's why I'm messing it up, because I'm not used to doing this. So let's try that again. I think I need to spray a little bit later. Coconut is over here. Oh, wow. I actually unlocked that one. I never do that. Alright. Throw it through the gate. Yeah, oh! I thought I jumped up here! I'm an idiot. Oh my lord, I shouldn't have been trying to read chat. Yeah, there's 2 of every fruit. This strat is pretty easy in my opinion, Cyclone. It just takes a bit to get used to. The only reason I'm messing it up is because I never do this. Like, I'm not used to this strat because I never do it. I always do 3YG. But this really isn't hard. I recommend this for beginners, actually. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy. All of this is pretty manageable for a new player. And it saves a lot of time. It's like 50 seconds. Alright, so let's try and do this properly now. Okay. There we go. So I guess it's slightly after the 3rd bob. Okay, and then you wait here. Jump, ground pound, spray. Eat the papaya, spin jump, ground pound on the platform. And then you can hug the front if you want, but it's not necessary. And then as you get on here... Oh, I hate it when that happens. You enter the secret. So yeah, that's 5YG. That's how that works. So let's move on to 3YG now. So the same stuff applies to 3YG. It's basically the same thing. The thing that makes it more difficult is these small stews. So the first thing that you want to do here is you want to go underneath these two. That's the way I do it. Not everyone does this, but I find this to be much more consistent. Basically, these guys have kind of an animation when they first notice you, and that animation can interrupt them from following you. So if I stand over here, see how... Oh, it didn't work. What about this guy? Let me kill this guy. He's in the way. I think if I stand, like, over here, this guy will notice me. Okay, I need to stand over here, maybe. Yeah, see, he noticed me, but then he just turned around anyway. And now the next time when he notices me, then he will actually follow me. And the only reason that happens is because the very first time they notice you, they'll do that little, like, hop animation that he did the first time. So, in order to be able to consistently get these guys to follow you, you want to get rid of that first notice that they do. So that's why at the very start, you want to go underneath these guys. So what I do is I just do a rollout here so that they both try to ground pound me. Okay, and then you just do the same stuff. You unlock Yoshi. It's a bit harder here because these guys will actively try to ruin your day. But yeah, you get this, and then you need to get these guys to follow you. But it's a lot harder because they're a lot faster. And yeah, then I do this, personally. Oh, this is actually not ideal. But yeah, it still works, but this guy will just attack me now, which is a little slow. But yeah, same thing here. Jump, ground pound, spam spray. Yeah, as you can see, like, the basics are the same, but it's mainly that dealing with the stews is a lot harder. And if you want, you can make it easier for yourself, right? So, wait, what's going on, Templar? Are you talking about Zach? What's up, Zach? I'm kind of in the middle of explaining something. Alright, coconut. That sucks. Where is this? There it is. See, these guys, they really want Mario. Alright. So, what you can do to make it easier on yourself is, instead of doing what I did and throwing the papaya after you aggro those guys, let's get rid of this guy. You can just throw the papaya first. This is a little slower, but it makes it a lot more consistent, in my opinion. And then you can aggro them from here, which is a lot easier, because then you never have to, like, get past them. The main difference here is that the timing for walking underneath them is kind of different there. If the stews are too close to each other, then they'll bunch up, and you want to avoid that. So when those guys are following you, instead of waiting for the guy to go all the way in the corner, you kind of want to turn around slightly before the guy reaches the corner. So that you get enough speed to separate them. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, oh, screw this guy. Notice me. Okay. Basically, if you do this, see how close together? Okay, there the guy actually went completely in the corner. You don't want that either. So you want them to be slightly out of the corner. And you don't want them to be on top of each other like this, because then you can't spray only one of them, you'll hit both of them. So it's kind of hard to do, because they have a bad angle now. Let me see if I can turn them around. Oh, that sucks. Okay, that's fine. So you want to do this. Kind of. That was bad, actually. I still managed to spray only one of them, but I was too late. Mario accelerates slower than Yoshi, so it's kind of hard to show this with Mario. But yeah, you wanna do that. See how they split apart? They were really close, but because I turned around early enough, they split apart. So now I can easily spray just this guy without hitting the other one. Because if you hit both of them, then it's over. They both turn into platforms, and that's bad. Because you need the other one to turn into a platform when you're in the park. But yeah, that's okay. Actually, I have one more thing about EYG that you need to know, and that's about clipping through the wall here. So let me get a Yoshi real quick and clip through that wall. When you're clipping through that wall, you can't just sidestep. You need to stop sidestepping at a certain point. And I will demonstrate that. I'll just get a single stew, because I don't really need more. I do need a During, though. Okay. So if I can just get this guy. Okay, so if I do this, notice how if I keep sidestepping, I get stuck. Like, I just kind of sidestep into the wall here. So as soon as that happens, you just let go of L, and then you walk through. That's something that some people get tripped up on. So yeah, you sidestep until you can't anymore, and then you just walk normally, and you'll get through. Now, another thing is that if you clip into the park and you lose your second stew, it's not over. You can just clip back. Like, you can kind of, see, you can just force your way through, and then you can go back and get 2 more stews. Now, of course, that's going to be slow, but it's going to lose you less time than exiting the level and doing it again. So, definitely worth doing. Clip back out, grab a few more stews. As long as your fruit doesn't disappear, you get another try. The papaya that's in the park, or that you've stored in Yoshi's mouth. So yeah, you're gonna be good. Alright, well, that's pretty much everything, I think, that I've got to say. Any questions about 3YG or 5YG? Oh, Psycho. What's the best backup if they're too close together? Yeah, if you notice that they're too close together, you can just back up and try and set it up again. Now, there's also different setups. The way I do it, it's prone to get them too close together, but that's because I want to go fast. If you don't mind sacrificing some time for more consistency, then you can separate them in advance. So I'll try and show that. I'm not too good at it, though. Okay, so if you've got 2 stews following you, you can make one of them attack you here. And that way they'll separate, so you never have to worry about spraying the second guy. But then he'll attack you again here, which is slow. But that's a thing that you can do. And the way you do it is, it kind of depends on the situation. Right there, they were basically following me in a way that he was going to attack me regardless. If they're a little bit further behind you, when you're jumping up here, you can flutter for a sec. Because that will slow you down, and that might slow you down enough so that one of them will attack you. There's also different approaches in order to split them up. I don't really know them because I've never really used them myself. So if you want to know about that, you should probably ask someone in the Sunshine Discord. Because I have no experience with it. But yeah, if you just find any sort of way to split them up consistently, that's safer.